Alrighty, I had a comment about getting a better mic. I was not able to do that yet. I'm just streaming from my phone like I normally do, so sorry for the poor audio quality, but Diligent held a space last night, and I'm gonna check it out for a little while I'm here at work in the crane and let y'all join me. This is Diligent Denison's page on X. Uh, I'll not be. I doubt I'll be streaming the whole 4 hour um, space. So if you want, you can scroll down this page and click on this link right here, and you'll get to hear the whole thing. I like Diligent Denison's space. He's pretty cool, and he gets a wide range of opinions in there. So let's check it out.
Please repost the space, bottom right corner. I have some things to talk about outside of Candace. So I noticed earlier this today that Erika Kirk was doing the rounds, promoting Charlie Kirk's book, right? And so, I like ever since I first heard about it, it kind of bothered me, and people know. Like, I don't have a bias towards anybody's religion. I don't like it when people target Jews for being Jews. I'm not a fan of when people target Muslims for being Muslims or Christians for being Christians. We are a nation. Our First Amendment protects the freedom of religion. So that's Muslim, Jews, Christians, Hindus. It doesn't fucking matter what they are. All of them are welcome here in the United States. I see a targeted, coordinated effort to vilify non-Christian religions right now, right? I see it towards Jews. I see it towards Muslims from various factions, right? So I see a polarization being injected into the mainstream through media, right? And a culture war polarization is what it is. And that's a Marxist That's a Marxist tactic. But outside of that, right, I was like, why are they pushing a book from Charlie Kirk? I mean, he's only been dead for a couple of months, and there's been no apparent sincere grief at all. You know what I mean? I have not, from any of these fucking people, any of them, I have not seen one believable moment of grief from any of them. Not one. Not his staff. I'm sorry, not his wife. Right? None of them, right? None of it has come off authentic. And they're pushing this book, right? They're making the rounds with this book, and it is it's all Jewish. And I'm like, wait, he was a diehard Christian. He supported Israel, don't get me wrong, right? He supported the people in the Jewish faith just like I do, right? But he was a practicing Christian. And so I was like, man, it feels like they're trying to push this like it was a Jewish thing. And people are in the comments with my first post. They're like, no, he's celebrating the Sabbath as a Christian, which that does happen, right? But then I'm like, okay, so then I see this clip of Erika Kirk, and she's saying he said Shalom Shabbat when he got into the fucking house to celebrate Sabbath. I'm like, that Christians don't say that shit. Right? Listen, I've been a Christian my entire life. I've gone to a shit ton of churches all over the place, and I have never heard a Christian say that. Never. I went to Seventh Day Adventist for a little bit. They observed the Sabbath on Saturday, and they never said that shit. And so just like it's insane. And so then I'm like, okay. So then I'm like arguing with people, and you know how I love to use Grok to check things, right? And so I'm like, Grok, scan Charlie Kirk's profile. Tell me how many times he was active on his account replying to people, which isn't like a scheduled post, right? He's replying to people during the observed hours of the Sabbath. Hundreds of times in the last couple of years. Hundreds. Not just once or twice, not a few times, hundreds. You know how many times he said Sabbath? 0 fucking times. 0 times. That's how many times? 0. Zero. This feels like such a farce, dude. I'm tired of it. It's obvious what they're doing. I am not, again, but much to the dismay of some of the Groypers and some of my, more it's the Jews people friends, I am not like very critical of the Jews at all. I don't care about people's ethnicity or religion, right? But like to try to propagandize us in the wake of Charlie Kirk so flagrantly and to be so dishonest about it has to be called out, right? They cannot be allowed to get away with this. They cannot be allowed to get away with it, right? The American people deserve better. I am tired of being gaslit and psyoped by this bullshit fucking media and this bullshit fucking government. I'm fucking tired of it, dude. I'm really fucking over it. So, anyways, that's the end of my rant. Bottom right corner, repost the space. We got plenty to get into. Welcome, Noxie. Did you see any of what I was talking about?
Yes, I did. I was finishing up on Candace. My bad. I was trying to.
We don't want to hear that shit, Noxie. Just answer the question.
I was trying to get all the info for the day. I have to keep up.
Did you hear anything I said?
Yes, and I agree with you. I am tired of the psyops. I am tired of the way that they are manipulating us. I am tired of me personally. I feel like it's an attack against my Christianity. I feel like these are, whenever they came up and they have 1,000 pastors over there, to lead a propaganda campaign in the churches here in America, it pisses me off. I've said it before. This is not the intention of the pulpit. The pulpit is meant to bring people to Christ, not to the foreign state of Israel. Like, you can preach about Israel, whatever, but whenever you are actively using our pastors to propagandize, you are attacking Christianity. This is going to make people turn away from Christianity, think that the church is just another propaganda machine. It will hurt Christians, and it pisses me off that Christianity is blatantly under attack and people and Christians are silent.
Did you see the post I was talking about?
Which one?
You missed my whole monologue, didn't you? Okay.
No, I didn't. I was here. But which one are you referring to? Are you referring to...
Well, any of them. Do you have any comments on the fact that he's never... I just put those posts up in the Jumbotron. The one where I scanned with Grok, I think, is the most like craziest, where she couldn't find one fucking example of him using that term, and then many examples of him being active during those times. Like it's just gross, dude. It's really fucking gross. It is. It pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie. Like
I love the passion.
He did talk about it on the Megyn Kelly show whenever he was talking about how he was under attack and felt like he was being emotionally blackmailed, and that he was under all of this pressure and being called an anti-Semite because he was airing some of his views, and he thought it was absolutely ludicrous because he was writing this book about it, and he did speak about it. But
yeah, I think he was writing it to appease them, obviously, because he wasn't practicing it. He wasn't practicing it.
Pressure.
It's obviously a pander. That's what it is. It's obviously a pander, and it is being packaged and distributed to the American people under the guise that he was not.
What? Victe? Christianity is gay and Jewish? You're on the wrong channel, bud.
Not changing his position, or that he was sincere, right? Somebody has to call it. Somebody who is not a Groyper or who does not care about the Gaza or Palestine or Israel conflict has to speak up on it, and I guess that's going to be me, because I don't have I don't have an interest over there, right? I don't fucking care about what's going on over there. But this is bullshit, bro. This is some bullshit. Go ahead, Noxie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine. I think that the part that annoys me is like in that interview, he was specifically saying, like, I'm doing all of these things.
By the way, you guys, all of those posts are up in the Jumbotron. Go ahead, Noxie.
Thank you. I am doing all of these things. I'm even writing a book. Like, I am bowing. Like, I am, they're using me as much as freaking possible, and it's still not good enough. No matter what I do, it's still not good enough. And if I have any ideas of my own that slightly tear away from it, they're pulling money. They're doing this. And that's what that text message, that group text message, he meant. He's like, I'm just tired of it. I have given everything I can give. I have nothing left to give to you guys. You guys are acting like typical, in his words, Jewish donor stereotypes. I can't give you anymore. I'm done. I have to walk away from this because it's too much now. And I think that is the point. Like, that is the breaking point. And that is why those words in that last text mean so much, is because he pleaded on Megyn Kelly. Like, he truly gave everything that he could trying to make these people happy, and he gave up, and he walked away, and then 2 days later he's dead.
Yeah, and that's what I said in my first post. I'll read it to you guys because that's what pissed me off. I'm like, he abandoned that position, and 2 days later he was dead, and everybody wants to gloss over it. And every single one of these fuckers who are out here telling you who killed him without there being any court date having happened yet is lying to you. Nobody knows who killed Charlie Kirk for certain. Nobody. Not me, not Candace Owens, not Tim Pool, not anybody. None of these, and anybody who is telling you they do, they're lying to you. They are lying to you, okay? Even if it's from people that you like, even if it's from people at Turning Point, they do not fucking know. Nobody fucking knows except for the person who did it. And after we have a fair trial, right, and that sorts it out, and we see the evidence, then we'll fucking know. But until then, nobody knows. And these people who are out here trying to tell you that they know, question their motive. Right? Because obviously they are lying to you intentionally to try to get you to believe something. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? What is their motive? Why are they so dead set on getting you to believe something that they cannot prove? Right? That nobody can prove. This is why I don't adopt conspiracy theories. This is why I don't adopt hypotheses about really anything. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in chem class or science class, I might adopt a hypothesis, or I might have one working in my head, but I'm not going to declare anything and marry myself to it, especially publicly. I don't even do it in private. I don't adopt theories because I don't work like that. You have to see where evidence leads you. You don't lead to the evidence. And anytime that you adopt a theory, you end up leading yourself to the evidence. So I can't do it anymore. These fuckers telling you that the leftists killed Charlie, that is a lie. They do not know that. No one fucking knows that. I'm not saying that a leftist couldn't have killed Charlie. 100% one could have, okay? That is very possible. But what I'm saying is that they don't know for certain that one did. And if they're out here telling you for certain that they did, they are fucking lying to you. And you have to face that, right? Don't be afraid to face it. Don't be afraid to wake up to really what's going on and ask yourself these questions. These are the most crucial questions in our country right now, is why is this happening, right? Why? Why is this happening? What is causing this? Why are so many fucking new media shills like Tim Pool, right?
Jack Posobiec.
Give me some examples. The TPU, Jack Posobiec,
Benny Johnson.
Why? Yeah, Benny Johnson. Why are they all telling you who killed Charlie Kirk without knowing it, and then lying about it? You know, like Jack Posobiec, I caught him outright lying about it, right? Like using a doctored image of a Facebook post of Tyler's brother. You know what I mean? And saying that it was Tyler to convince you that Tyler is a gun-toting, hunter that uses a gun all the time. Why is he trying to convince you of that? Why is it so important to him? Where he was posting about it every day until I called him out. He's not posting about it now, right? But he was posting about it every day, all day for months. Why? Why is he trying to convince so many people of something that he does not know? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves. There is something nefarious afoot here, and I'm not going to stand by and not fucking call it out. Okay? We have to call this shit out. We have to get to the bottom of it. We cannot accept this. This is just like Epstein, right? Just like Epstein. This is a symptom of something very dark, sinister, and sick within our country, and we cannot fucking accept it because it is everything that is wrong, right? We cannot fucking accept it. Go ahead, Redhead.
You're exactly right. There is something very dark and sinister, and it's not. I hesitate because I know not everybody is religious or spiritual, but there are things happening in another realm, and you can feel the shifts, and you can feel the darkness of shit. You can actually feel that. And what Noxie was referring to about our pastors going over there, I was just as angry as she was about that.
I'm not even making this about Israel. I'm making this about that's Erika Kirk. That is Turning Point USA. That is our government. You know what I mean? Like, I know that people like always want to go right to Israel. To me, it's here. This is all of this shit. The problem is fucking here. I almost feel like Israel is a distraction at this point. It wouldn't matter if it was Israel or the CCP. The common denominator is our fucking media, our fucking government, and these fuckers that are in these organizations corrupt as fuck, right?
Right. And you see this being rewritten right in front of our faces in our country. And like I said, as a widow, having a perspective like that, when you start rewriting, your marriage, or start rewriting what your husband stood for, rewriting what we obviously all saw with the text message and the donors, and it's a rewrite, and it's not like it's like a JFK thing, but it's happening like we have media, like it's in real time, and we're seeing it. And what in the hell do we do about it?
I don't know. We have to acknowledge it, I think, before we can do anything about it. Thank you so much, Redhead. Let's go to Amira. Go ahead.
I'm just grateful that you're still, that you're still on this, that you're not letting go of it. I think this is one of the most, besides from the Epstein stuff, this is one of the most important stories of our lifetime. I'm just really grateful for your passion. And I want you to understand, too, that, I was a Zionist and didn't even know it, and so when you hear people talking about the Jews, it's not necessarily that they hate them for who they are or what they are. It's about what's going on in our country, really, the control and the, like today, Jack Hibbs, a pastor.
But it's a generalization that is not fair, because it's not everybody who is Jewish is
right. I get that. I understand that. I do. But like today, Jack Hibbs, who's, a famous pastor in this country, basically said if you don't support giving money to Israel, then you could lose your salvation. I mean, they are manipulating people who love God. They are manipulating God's people. And Redhead, I agree with you. You can feel there is something seriously dark and sinister that you can feel in the air. And I don't know what exactly time it is, but I'm thinking it's that time, because I don't understand what's happening right now. And I don't like it. It does not feel good. It's very uncomfortable. I hate it. And I'm grateful for your space because then we could just be in the darkness together.
Well, it's not dark where I'm at, but hopefully we'll all get some light. I just noticed that we have 300 people in here and 40 reposts. Do me a favor, you guys. Spaces is kind of broken, so the way that we grow these spaces is by going down in the comments section and reposting the space. Thank you so much. Yeah, the comments on that post of Grok checking his account is like, people are like kind of blown away. It's kind of crazy. It's people are waking up. Like something's seriously off with that one. Was like, that's a real eye opener right there. Like that's major. Go ahead, Jeanette.
Hi. So I did watch her show today, and she talked about someone emailing her about an incident that occurred 35 years ago. She gave an incident number, a report number, as if it's easy to verify anything about something that 35 years ago happened. So whatever happened 35 years ago to this guy who emailed her. But
the report number was actually from the incident that just happened on September 8th. The other stuff was verified through news reports and reporting on the situation.
Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying. Okay, that makes more sense. But about Charlie Kirk, he was saying Shabbat Shalom every Friday at the end of his show, which for me was like, I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, why is he saying that? It's awkward. But he did say that on Fridays at the end of the show. Yeah, that's all I had to say. Thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Noah.
That was a great post, Diligent, on Grok, trying to find all the instances he mentioned Shabbat Shalom and as many posts that he did during the Sabbath. That was a great idea. That was a bomber idea. You did great. I just wanted to comment that as far as like conspiracy theories go, let's just say you believe, and I it's connecting to this, Diligent, I promise. Let's say 9/11 was an inside job, right? Conspiracy theorists would say that there's so much connective tissues, there's so many smoking guns to prove that, but basically nobody or the government won't acknowledge that, right? Also apply that with the JFK assassination, blah, 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 blah. There's so much connective tissue here that this was an inside job.
But the fallacy is adopting, the fallacy is not highlighting the holes. I think it's just when you yourself highlight your own, public theory that people, you know what I mean? Like then it has to measure up. And then usually from what I've seen, people, it always relies on information that you don't have to be proven and often is unattainable, right? And so it's actually makes more sense and easier to focus on, what doesn't add up with the public narrative that you're given. And then if it's compelling enough, the public outrage will be so great that the government is forced to come up with something else, right? Like that's the only way I can think of that it could work.
I certainly hope so. And, this is an investigation that's happening in real time. And I've never seen anything like this, lived through anything like this. So this is a new paradigm. So keep up the great work, you guys. And I truly hope this goes in a direction.
Do you think the book is propaganda? I feel like the book is propaganda. It just you can just tell it's propaganda.
Oh, it smells. 100%. It's complete horse shit. Like all the way through, ever since he got elected, it's been complete dog shit, and we're all smelling it. And I think I agree with you. I think more and more people are slowly waking up. Even people in our families that were like diehard Zionists, are waking up to the Israel thing. But you know what? Waking up to this Charlie Kirk mess. I mean,
I just want to say, even then, it's not necessarily. Even then, it's not necessarily, the people or the nation of Israel. I think when people are having a problem, I think it's the government of Israel that people have a problem with. Much like people have my government, my main beef is with the government of the United States. And it needs to get its shit together. So I just want to say, even when I think of people are bringing up Israel, I don't think it's targeted at the population or the citizens or the nation. Maybe in some regards it is, but
I think it's way harder generation to believe that it's actually our government that is so corrupt. It has been corrupt for decades and decades, going back to when our mothers and fathers, uncles were children, going back way then. It's just so hard for them to fathom that we've been living in this age of propaganda.
It goes back further than that, y'all.
That we've been so propagandized that we could refuse to believe that something so terrible, something so dysfunctional, something so evil could have been happening under our noses. It's pretty incredible. But you guys are doing awesome. Keep up the great work. Amazing work. Thanks.
Thanks, man. Again, you guys, bottom right corner, please repost the space. Noxie, can you update me on what Candace disclosed during her show? Because I didn't watch it.
So basically, she had an email come in through the tip line, and it was a man. I think his name was Henry or Harry. But it was about from 35 years ago. He was in the military and working with Border Patrol in a joint task force. And he basically discovered an underground tunnel where they were shipping cocaine underground. And they found out that there were people on the United States military side where there were pictures of them with like El Capo and other people like in the military with all of these drug people and the cartel members on the other side in the house in Mexico. And he had an NDA on him where he couldn't speak about this. He was supposed to have been put in witness protection. They failed with that end of it, but they did make him sign an NDA. The NDA was for 30 or 35 years. It expired in June or July of this year. So in September, he went down to ask questions. He went to that military base where he was stationed at, and he wanted to ask questions. And he ended up going to this, he found out that his unit had actually been revamped, and he found out where that was, which is in like a temporary location now. And whenever he walked in, he noticed that there were like 10 or 11 very high-ranking officials in there. And he also noticed that Brian...
Listen, I don't know if Candace or it was mistaken in what she called high rank. I don't know if he was mistaken. I don't know what it was. But what Candace said on her show was E4s and E5s or E5s and E6s or whatever. Look, I was an E5. That is not a high rank in the Army. So I don't know if she got bad information or if she misspoke or what. Now, if she was talking about like 05s and 06s, you know, that would be a little bit more. But yeah, that a group of E5s and E6s is not unusual to see at all. And it's not high-ranking people.
Harpool was in there who worked for TPUSA, and there was some type of chaos. Like they freaked out that he was there. They ended up taking him in, doing like a 7-hour interrogation on him because they thought that maybe he was spying or that he was part of a bomb threat or whatever. Like, I don't know that part of it. But he then was questioned for 7 hours. The questioning officer's name happened to be the captain or whatever. He said these were all like lieutenant colonels. He's like, it's very rare for that many to be together in one place unless they're planning an op. And he said,
again, if what she said on her thing is true, E5s and E6s, that's a sergeant and a staff sergeant, not a far cry from lieutenant colonels. Yeah.
Said that the one that questioned him, that was the head of it, his name was Captain Neff, which she found really interesting and was wondering, you know, kind of wondering if maybe there was any connection to the other Neff guy, whatever his name is. I can't think of it right now.
Blake
Neff, yes. So wondering if there's any connection with that. And anyway, since there was a 7-hour interrogation on him, there was actually an incident number that was filed so that he was able to back it up. And this all happened on September 8th. And then, of course, Charlie was assassinated like 2 days later. And that Charlie at the time was overseas speaking in North Korea and Japan, and then on his way home. So all of this was taking place with Charlie out of the country. And this man has come forward where he was actually going to find out about other stuff that he was involved in, where he had led to the findings of this underground drug tunnel and all of these American officers being part of it. And then he goes and finds his
How does this tie into TPUSA or Kirk, though?
Because Brian Harpole was there. He recognized Brian Harpole, who was also the guy that was on Sean Ryan.
That's a security guy, right?
Yes. So he was there meeting with like these 11 lieutenant colonels, all in this very like.
Again, not lieutenant colonels, if what she said was right. I don't know. I really hate that she came out and said what she said. It made her lose a lot of credibility. For every single military guy that heard that podcast was like, what the fuck is she talking about, dude?
Like in this temporary off the beaten path place, not on base, like it was just around this one particular unit, and this unit already has a history of being sketchy from before. And so how she's tying it in is that if the military was involved...
Did she have any receipts?
Yeah, I heard her say she thought she might be saying it wrong. Who was that? Stacy. I heard her say that. I mean, I watched the whole thing. I love Candace, and I believe that a lot of what she says is true. But whatever that was, I don't know, man. She's gonna have to come out and do some clarification and show some receipts or something, because if that dude said it, you know, and she misput, I don't know, man. But I know that just really hurt her credibility.
She gave the incident number of this man. She did the background check on this man to find out that he was the one that was involved with this thing 30 years ago. And then she also got the incident number from whenever he was, because if they hadn't interrogated him and they would have just let him walk away, then there wouldn't be an incident number. But because they interrogated him for 7 hours, now there's an incident number. And so like she said that she's going
interrogated him?
Captain Neff.
So, but what, like, was it the Army? Was it the police?
It was the military. This was all military.
What branch?
It's I guess it was the Army. It was Captain. She said it was Captain Neff, and it was.
A captain can be a captain of a lot of things.
Well, that's the thing, is it's a joint task force. So that is where like the Marines, the Army, they work together on a joint task force, and so.
That's correct. I've done a lot of joint task force work. You know, different branches work together on different things. For me, it was during, doing Patriot missile stuff. So I mean, yes, that happens, but I don't know what's up with this rank thing, man. That really hurt her, man. She needs to run. I watched. I don't know if y'all listen to Valhalla VFT, but he did a really good breakdown, and he puts out really good content. But she has access to a Green Beret, bad motherfucker, to vet, some of the things that she's saying, and she's not using it. I don't know what is wrong with her for not using that.
Oh, and I think it's Joint Task Force Mountain. I'll have to check. But I think it was Mountain Home or something like that. Is the Joint Task Force that was there, because it's where that particular.
Yeah, there's a base there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Idaho.
No, this is the one. It's in Arizona. I didn't write down the name of what it was, but anyway, it's another. It was JTF something. And I can go back and I can verify that or check, or if one of you in the subscriber chat remembers that or can look that up, that would be great. On the video. But she tied it all in because Brian happened to be there, and he recognized him after the fact, because this was 2 days before Charlie was assassinated. And then this guy recognized Brian from being there at that military meeting, and then also on the news later.
So he tied Brian to a military meeting that occurred how long before Charlie was shot?
2 days, September 8th.
Oh, shit. In Arizona?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay. But did he have any evidence of it? Like, did he give any...
He gave the incident report, and she said that they're going...
Yeah, but for 30 years ago, but what about now? Right?
The incident report is for September 8th because they interrogated him for 7 hours, but you have to file a FOIA to be able to get that. So that is what she's saying right now. She's like, we need to file the FOIA, and she gave us the incident report number, and she's like, we need to file a FOIA to get that incident report.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, and see if even if they redact it, that's going to show that there's obviously some sus going on there.
Right.
All right, thank you for that update. That's very interesting. Yeah, it feels like the walls, if they can produce some documentation, some evidence, because they're still kind of hanging now. But it feels like if that does get substantiated, then the walls are closing in as far as a potential operation involving the U.S. government and the military, which is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. This whole thing is kind of terrifying. I mean, I don't get scared, but the whole thing is, I think about our country and our future and all of the implications of something like what could orchestrate something like this that is so widespread and powerful across media and government and social media and just bot farms and shit. They are like started to go after me today. Like whatever there is, why would if the military was involved, right? I'm just saying, and I still need to see receipts. Like I don't like.
So for anybody listening, the incident number was 8611-2025-NPC446.
Can you say it a little slower?
8611-2025-MPC446.
And where would you look that incident number up at?
Well, that's what she's saying. You would have to file a FOIA and then refer to that particular incident number to get them to release that incident report.
I mean, I feel like she should have, well, I'm not going to say tell her how to do her things. I think I would have waited until I had done that myself before I came out with it. Although
it takes forever to get a FOIA. What are you talking about, Diligent? Come on, man. You're smarter than that, bro.
Maybe not, because you can crowdsource FOIAs.
Sorry, I'm on a construction site right now, walking through. It's loud. Sorry, guys. I'm pausing the show till I get back to the crane and you can actually hear this space. What up? Sorry. Be patient. 10 more seconds. Just gotta get up in the crane. Oh. Here we go.
And from what I've researched, the more FOIAs that they get on a single subject, it illustrates public demand for transparency, and then the judge is likelier to grant the FOIA based on the demand from the public, and it's in the public interest And so you illustrate that by having more FOIAs sent. So, I mean, I actually, it is smarter for her to release the incident and then crowdsource the FOIAs.
Do you see that? He realized he was wrong mid-stride and corrected himself. That's why people listen to freaking journalists with integrity. Thank you, Diligent.
To try to get that from the military.
And she said that the guy verified that, like, his flights, his hotel, where he was at, like, he verified all of that information to her that he was actually there. So.
Yeah, I want to. All right, thank you so much. We can talk about that for a little bit if you want. I don't. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about the show. I do want to go back and talk about. It struck me. When I saw that video of, Blake and Colvett and Erika Kirk pushing that book. I found it incredibly disturbing. Like, I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, this is just gross, right? It is. They are constantly invoking Charlie's name. Oh, he liked this. It is like Weekend at Bernie's. You know what I mean? It's like they are operating his mind while he's dead, and and carrying, like, living off of his brand entirely, and saying, oh, well, he had this, this was his position about that, and this was that. They have no individual positions themselves. You know what I mean? It's always Charlie like this, Charlie like that. It's fucking gross. Not only is it gross, it's morbid. You know what I mean? Like, where is the respect for the dead? That's not there. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't know, it hit me today. I was like, this is incredibly macabre. You know what I mean? Like, it is. And if you guys don't know what that means, it is like, it's like when somebody, does something unseemingly, and I'm not saying like anything disgusting, like perverted, but does something unseemingly after one's death, right? And so that's what I see like happening here, is something very perverse. I was like, it's like, here we are, everything's been happening according to schedule. They kept the show going without a hitch. They immediately pivoted. Everything was just seamless and just a full production, and not any hint of fucking sincerity at all. Not at all. Which is why they're declining. Nobody, you know what I mean? The reason why people aren't buying it is because it doesn't seem sincere. And so you can't blame Candace Owens. You can't blame me. You can't blame, MAGA or Republicans. You can't blame the Democrats. Right? It is something wrong with those people themselves. It is something that they project whenever they put themselves out there, just like they did like earlier, right? It comes off as fake, it comes off as forced, and it's gross. You know what I mean? And I can't not like point it out that there is something very hollow and very orchestrated going on here with how this thing is functioning after he's dead. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm just saying that he is being, there's a narrative being pushed that Charlie Kirk was a sincere practitioner of a religious practice that there's no evidence for, other than what people are saying. Right? There's a lot of positions that he is said to have that there's no evidence for. You know what I mean? And then they're trying to say, well, don't believe your eyes, right? I was like, I've had this debate so many times now. His last documented position was that he was leaving Israel 2 days before, and then 2 days later, he was fucking assassinated. Okay? So, if you're not going to at least have curiosity about that, you are suspect in my book. Am I saying that they killed him? No. I don't know who killed Charlie Kirk. But you have to look at everything, every possible angle, I just want to point out that everybody brings up the fact that he said that Charlie said on those text messages in that group chat that he had no choice but to leave the Israel cause. But what he said right before that, what he said leading up to that, was even more
critical of Israel. He said the Jews play basically the Jews play into all the stereotypes. That would be like a smack in the face to and he said that on a group chat with Orthodox Jews. I mean, that was a big deal, dude. That was more than saying that he's just leaving the pro-Israel cause. That was saying the Jew people are right. Like, I mean, and that's not what I believe. I'm giving you what Charlie believed. You know what Charlie said. So that's crazy that people aren't pointing that out more often.
Stone unturned, right? Like, where is that? It's not coming from any of his friends. I don't see it coming from his family. I don't see it coming from his coworkers. I don't see it coming from anybody around him. Nobody but Candace. And you know, she's not perfect, but who else? Who else is digging? Who else is curious? Who else is asking questions? There's not very fucking many of us. There's not. There's a lot of people out here with major platforms. Nick Fuentes, you know, Steven Crowder, fucking the Quartering. All of these guys are out here telling you who killed Charlie Kirk before there's been a trial. So that's a fucking lie. We don't know who killed Charlie Kirk. And then they're also telling you, if you ask questions or don't believe them, that there's something wrong with you. That is not okay, especially with how many of them are doing it. There is a massive, massive fucking problem here, and it's time that we have a conversation about it. Repost the space. Go ahead, Noxie.
I just wanted to correct. I got corrected in the comments. He arrived on the 8th. The incident happened on the 9th, and then he flew home on the 10th.
That's not here nor there.
And then also Blake, well, it is because that means the day after he said that he was leaving the pro-Israel cause, the day after that was that meeting. And I think that's relevant. And then also conservative millennial mommy put in there that Blake Neff was a former U.S. Army intelligence officer, and I didn't know that.
I did know that about him. I didn't know that he was in military. I didn't know that about him.
I didn't know he was an intelligence officer, so that was.
I didn't know he was in intelligence. I know POSA was. I didn't know Blake was.
It's kind of ironic that they're.
I'll have to independently verify that.
Yeah, that was just what Grok said. But I find it kind of odd and interesting that the talking heads are former intelligence officers. You know, some of them
I think it's a good opportunity for me to remind everybody, please don't believe anybody at face value. We try not to present things unless they've been independently verified. If you hear something like what Noxie just said, please don't just believe it off the cuff. Go look it up and try to figure it out yourself. We need to, you know, push a mindset of critical thinking and of, you know, of independently verifying information, right?
Hey, why don't we do that? Let's do that now. Where's my tabs at? I can't see my tabs. Here they are. Let's add a new tab. Let's just ask Google. Is it NEFF? In the military. Was Blake Neff from TPUSA in the military? I wonder if he has a Wikipedia page. Wikipedia. Don't care. Blake Neff. He doesn't have one. I I know about the damn controversy. I don't know. It's not showing up right away. Let's see if it comes up this way. I'm not seeing it. Wake JNF books. Does he have books? Or is that a different? Is that a different person? Nah, that's somebody different. All right. Well, we tried to verify it. Let's get back to the space. I guess y'all didn't want to see me do no research, huh? You just want to hear them talk. That's cool.
Right. That's what we need to do. Because it's crazy out here. Go ahead, that girl Casey.
Oh my God, I got the mic immediately. Thank you so much.
I wanted to get Denizon. Do you mind if I speak? Because I have to go to work.
Yeah, I do mind. Because I called on her. Thanks. Go ahead.
Listen, I really did just come in. I don't know at what point of the conversation you guys are talking about, but the book Grift, yes, Erika, Kirk, and the Sabbath. Well, let me tell you something. I hope everybody's having a really good night. I believe I reposted this space, but if I didn't, I'm going to repost it so everybody repost the space. Yeah, this thing, these people, the 7 Days Adventists, if they had balls, they would come out and say, it's not just a Jewish Sabbath, guys. It's Sabbath. Anybody can.
I dated a chick in the Seventh Day Adventist. I went for a little while. I practiced for a little while, and they never said Shabbat Shalom. Never once did I ever hear that from them. Ever.
Never did. And so this is why I'm talking about the infrastructure, like the people. If the 7 Days Adventists, like the head of these people, because they did talk about Charlie Kirk real quick. That's not something they talk about on Saturdays. They just kind of said something real quick about praying for the.
There's a little bit of a discrepancy between the time windows that the Christian version of the Sabbath and the Jewish observation of the Shabbat are observed. So there's a little bit of a difference there too. I'm just throwing that out there for our listeners. Sorry. Continue, Casey.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you. So this is where I do get annoyed with the church infrastructure and why we're what can I do? I'll write a letter to them. Of course, I'll email them because I think that they should, if we believe that the Seventh Day Adventists, we believe that we're following Christ and Christ did worship on the Sabbath and we say Sabbath is for everybody. We want to bring everybody into it, but we never said this is the Jewish Sabbath. In fact, we speak against calling it the Jewish Sabbath. Now this girl's running around calling it the Jewish Sabbath, and you can tell that it is to amalgamate and make this Christian Zionist movement happen. And I won't go any further, but I'm just saying that this is what this propaganda is
about.
They're
definitely pushing propaganda. That's 100%. It's obvious.
Yeah, and so, they even had their thing yesterday. Didn't they say something about win the church? I thought Jesus wins the church. I thought the church goes to Jesus. That's how, what I'm saying? I don't know what that is with TPUSA. But shout out to Erika, man. She's going everywhere. She was on, Good Day Fox in the morning, Fox and Friends in the morning. She's going to be on the 5. But was she already on the 5? Sis is going to the town hall. She got all her outfits ready. She is, Charlie who? Anyway, I look good. I got my rings on and my bracelets. Hair done, nails done, everything big.
Disavow. That's not what I said. Disavow.
Okay, I said it. Okay, I'll take that.
The views of the speakers aren't necessarily the views of the host. Go ahead.
No, I said it. You know what I'm saying? And they know where to find me to hear more of it because I'm sorry. It's almost, and I'll leave with. I'll stop with this.
It's cringe. It's gross, bro. It's gross that they're doing this. You know what? It looks. It's not a good look. It makes Candace's points about them look way more valid.
Yes, that's why I wish she would have stuck just to TPUSA Faith. TPUSA Frontlines too, Diligent. Do you know that TPUSA is in the Pentagon? Yes, they're part of the Pentagon press pool, so there's that. We really could have gotten a lot out of that, but that's for us to do the due diligence of looking into what they are propagandizing to us. And the last
point. Damn it, there was something I was going to say. But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, after Charlie died, and I tweeted this, I said, it's like norms are gone. There are no more norms. It is normal that somebody gets shot. You don't call 911. You don't get an ambulance already set up for it. It was normal. Somebody, your husband dies and you get to go everywhere. Whatever. Norms are gone, and it just is what it is. That's just how I feel like it is nowadays. So, but thank you for letting me speak. Thank you.
It's incredibly sad.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like it's when I see that, I like, it's not like I was close to Charlie. I was in alignment with him during the election last year, and I think the only time that I ever had a criticism of him was over Epstein when he got the call, right? But outside of that, I'd interacted with him a few times. It's like I said, I didn't know him, but it was always on good terms. Like, he seemed like a decent guy, and to see what's happening now, it's a mockery of what he stood for. You know what I mean? Like, I feel, especially since it's religious, it feels, being a Christian.
Y'all see that, guys? We found that live on the stream, right? I showed y'all a little bit how to do some Google foo. Got to use your quotes to pull it up. But look, I pulled that up off of Google. This is their the website. It looks like a military news website, right? They report on all kinds of crap, and the one that came up was this article. Yeah, he was involved in the reason that they reported on this was when Blake Neff got fired for all that racist crap when Tucker fired him when he was at Fox News. So that's why it was a story. So yeah, he's tied to military intelligence for sure. That's wild. That is wild to me. Wow. All right, let's get back to what they were talking about.
Blasphemous. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's some kind of sin against God going on here, and it is really, really ugly. And it's not my place to judge, but I can feel it. You can sense it. That there is some kind of, and I'm not trying to be, hyperbolic. I know that comes off that way, but yeah, I just felt it in my soul today. I was like, geez, man, this is dark. This feels so dark. Yeah, it's really bad. It's just horrible. It really is. It feels very dark, and the only thing that I'm grateful for, I guess, is that there are so many people who are aware of it, as opposed to just blindly following like a cult. And I'm not talking about TPUSA. I just mean, like, we're tribal creatures. Often we will hold to the tribe, despite what our eyes tell us or what our ears are telling us. And I see a lot of people going, wow, this is messed up. Right?
I'm going to pause them real quick just to make sure y'all know this is Denizon speaking. He's a citizen journalist. He's been heavily involved in the Kirk investigation as well as other investigations. He went out to the site at UVU for like a week or something like that, and did live on the ground reporting, held live spaces where people could ask questions and go where he, to go look for all the cameras and all that shit. So he's a really good follow. You should check it out. I'm not trying to steal his stuff. As far as I know, he's not on YouTube, but he holds really good spaces, and most people don't know about these spaces. So that's why I stream them. And if you want to make an X account, and go do that. I repost all the spaces that I stream on my profile, which is right here. That's my profile. You can see I reposted his space. But all right, let's go back to it.
Right, and so yeah, a shadow of Ezra. I haven't seen you in spaces in a while. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
I'm good, man. Did you see my Grok post?
I just saw your grok post, which was about the Sabbath, and it said 0 times he mentioned anything.
Zero.
Like that. 0, yeah.
0 in 3 years. 3 years.
Yeah, people are starting to see what's going on with Turning Point USA. Like, even me, I don't want to come out and just... When I post about them, what I do is I just let their own words expose themselves. What they say, I post. I don't give my opinion about anything. You guys can figure it out.
Oh, I'll definitely give my opinion. And
I know you do, which is great. But I'm saying my strategy is let them keep talking and they keep burying themselves, because every time they speak, the next time is something else. Then the next time is something else. It's like, man, this whole thing is getting insane, especially with this whole Tim Pool situation. Because that story yesterday I was the one speaking to Adam, the angler. He messaged me about it first. So I spoke to him about it, I think around 2-ish. He's like, I don't think this is a credible story. I'm like, I'm not going to post this right now because I'm going to go to the gym and I just don't want to, if there's backlash, I'm going to look really stupid. I came back from the gym and I'm like, I messaged him, I can show you the DMs. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to post it. So I was thinking.
Oh, Diligence on YouTube? Oh, shit. Let me, I can't do it while I'm streaming. I'm going to have to go subscribe to him. I appreciate that comment, Stacy.
Thinking about it, because I'm like, this whole shit doesn't make sense to me because of just how Tim Pool is not that controversial that somebody's gonna come and try to kill him. His life, he's literally a government asset. He's not he's not saying anything controversial. He's not speaking against Israel. He's literally part of the squad. There's nobody that wants to come and take his life. He's lied about it before. But then I was like, let me post it. So the guy was cool enough when I was speaking to him in a conversation. He's like, I'm not sure if I got the wrong number or whatever. I was like, it doesn't matter. They should still direct you. If, it's probably a county nearby or something. Like maybe you're not right. And now this guy today, Cam Higby, I saw his video. At first, when I saw his video, I was literally dropping my wife to like a supermarket. And I was like, okay, I'll delete my post. Maybe I was wrong. And then when I got home, I actually listened to what he said. He didn't provide anything. So now I'm like, I should have left my post up.
Because it doesn't prove anything.
It doesn't prove anything.
What time. It doesn't prove anything. You don't know. A third party could have called after we were all clowning Tim, which is what I pointed out on my post. Right? He's like, I proved all the retards wrong. No, you didn't, bitch. You don't know what time it is. Like,
exactly.
We started clowning you that day at almost immediately. But where's the proof? Where? Did you file? We're going to file a police report. I think my first post I made about him was at 3 in the afternoon. So he can show us, give us a timestamp, 3 in the afternoon. Otherwise, you're full of shit.
Exactly.
Sorry.
So when I got home, so then I looked up, I saw his picture in Yahoo. I'm like, this is the same guy who was clowning Candace Owens a few days ago in an interview when he interviewed the Department of War press secretary, right? I was like, this is that guy. I wish I didn't delete my post because, me, I'm I like to be correct. So if I don't want to get hit with a community note or anything saying I'm wrong, I would rather delete something I'm wrong about than get hit with a stupid community note. I don't like community notes. So I like to be as accurate as possible. Because I was speaking to the guy directly. That's the only reason I made the post. And when I posted that, the entire video is 6 minutes. I edited.
I don't know if that's really his profile. He's got, I've never heard him promote it. It's not on his, it don't show a link to it. Usually you'd have a link to that where you have the most subscribers. Right, because he has 145,000 on here, and so you'd think he'd promote his YouTube channel on this, and I don't see it. So that might be somebody posing to be him because he has so many followers on X. Maybe next time he holds a space, I'll go up and ask him. But yeah, anyway.
From the important parts. And made it down to 3 minutes of the parts of him speaking to the sheriff. And then I saw the people taking that video and just running straight. I think there's an account, the SCIF. He took my clip and he just 100%, the way he wrote it was I'm 100% sure. The way I wrote it was he's questioning this. He was not able to get a correct answer. So it's it's still a little bit open, but it's what the hell's going on? Maybe we'll get a response. But the way that guy framed the thing, it's 100% true, and then it went super viral, and then that triggered a response. But then I also saw one thing with all these creators that are now from Dom Lucre to Colin Rugg and to Cam Higby, they're all coordinating with each other and trying to take down Candace Owens. That's like that's a whole nother story. But I'm just letting you guys know that's all coordinated because they're all posting for each other, replying.
You can tell.
Yeah,
you can tell they're using the same words.
They're not,
I mean, like
not the same words. They're using the same types of attack.
Well, not only are they using the same strategy of attack, but they are literally the rhetoric, the buzzwords, calling her demonic, calling her evil, referencing religious terms. They're doing that for a specific reason. It dehumanizes your opponent, right? Mm-hmm. So they're and they're speaking to Charlie's pissed off following, the religious ones. So whenever they're doing that, they're trying to invoke a religious feeling within the more zealous of the following, hoping that some nutbag on the internet will go after her, right? It is they call it scholastic terrorism or whatever, right? There's a strategy there, right? And I'm not saying that it's illegal what they're doing, of course it's not, but it should definitely be fucking called out, right? Because that preacher, I made a post on this earlier, I highlighted, he's calling her in this post, Tim is calling her a demon, right? He's literally calling her a demon, and then here's this preacher 2 weeks ago saying the same thing. She is evil. She is a demon. Must be stopped. You know what I mean?
You know what other narrative they're spreading, which is such a lie? Now, here's the thing. Here's one reason why I'll defend Candace Owens, just for one reason. Now, everybody's saying, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? Hello? Candace Owens is not the FBI. Her job is not to sit there and come up with a conclusion on a podcast and get somebody arrested. That's the FBI's job. Her job is to follow red flags and speak to people who were there and just inquire and who are giving her inquiries, and she's covering all of that. Nowhere did she say she's gonna come out and be like, yeah, tomorrow somebody's gonna be arrested.
No, she does say proof. I have a proof. She uses the word proof a lot.
Okay, she does use the word proof, but because she's saying she's speaking to people who are giving her information who don't want to come forward. Now, if Kash Patel was doing his job, she wouldn't have to do this, right? Yes or no? Because Kash Patel, a month and a half ago, this is his own words. He said, I'm investigating everything, right? He said, I'm investigating the strange signals that the security guards were making. I'm investigating whether it was a lone gunman. Now, what have we gotten from him so far? So the Donald Trump assassination, he said it was a lone gunman. Okay.
We got nothing. And Candace Owens yesterday says, why FBI didn't reach out to me asking about the France's involvement with the case we have with Charlie.
If y'all don't mind liking the stream, it helps get it out to more people. If not, that's cool too. I don't know. Some people are stingy with their likes, but I like anything that I listen to for more than 10 minutes.
Kirk's assassination. So since she doesn't even believe in anything that FBI has to say, why is she not providing proof about what she has? She literally said, I have proof yesterday. I have proof that France was involved with Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I am very curious, or something like that, I'm shocked that the FBI didn't reach out to me. Well, why are you not providing those proof of yours that you have? Nick Fuentes and a lot of people, Team Pool, me and so many, we did give her the benefit of the doubt for so long. And then we realized it's just a show. And if you go, every time she goes viral, it's under the entertainment on X, where she is.
That doesn't mean shit. She's a podcaster. I mean, she's a talking head. So that doesn't. It doesn't matter what she trends under, right? She has no. Her
LLC is under entertainment. That's why she can.
Yeah, because she's a media. She's a podcaster. That is, and that's media. All right. Let's go to.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead.
Okay, I would like to address that real quick. First of all, Candace has provided a lot of receipts and a lot of proof.
How long are you staying, Shadow?
I'm here for now.
Diligent, please stay on the speak so I can get
to. For a minute. Yeah, in a minute. Go ahead, Amira, and then I'll go to you, Mary.
No, I was just saying that this girl, whoever it was that just spoke, is wrong about Candace not bringing receipts or bringing proof of anything. I mean, the whole reason we know about the Egyptian planes is because of Candace. A lot of the information that's come out, most of all of it, it definitely hasn't come from the government. That's
I think the biggest bombshell that she revealed that was substantiated is the Israel text 2 days before that he was abandoning the position. That, to me, that's the biggest. That's the most important thing that she's done.
That's motive.
That she's given us.
That's the biggest motive.
That's motive.
Yes. The rest is like the FBI is supposed to figure out. But Kash Patel already said in the Megyn Kelly interview that he's not looking into Turning Point USA at all. That she asked him about it. I saw the clip. He's like, nope, nothing. Like he said that without even blinking. I don't know if you guys ever saw the new Mission Impossible movie about the AI when you have to switch the thing out in the blink of an eye. That's how fast he did it. That's how fast he did it.
They switched the chips out.
Yes. That's how I've never seen Kash Patel move that fast. He didn't even finish the question. He's like, no. I'm like, whoa. So that means there must be something there.
Funny,
but listen, but this whole Turning Point situation is, I didn't know they were this corrupt. They are so evil. But the fact is that they have so many followers that think they are correct and righteous. I'm like, we are in the end of times. This is crazy. This is like eye-opening. Every day I'm like, oh my God. Especially with the pastors and the way they're going at her. Unbelievable. I'm like, it's a lot to keep up with. There are channels that are dedicated like 24/7.
If you believe, though, you know who wins in the end.
Yeah, I know. But it's like we're still in the beginning phases because they still haven't completed their little order yet. And there's a lot of people that are mad at you, Diligent, by the way. I'm in other like areas. People don't like you. Like a lot. Like I'm in a lot of different. I'm not gonna say because I don't want to go back.
I know.
Yeah.
I've pissed off a lot of people.
Yeah.
But what have I done wrong?
Nothing. I don't think so. I haven't. I mean, all you're doing is that.
Like I would like to know what exactly I've done wrong, other than just stick to what I do. All of my principles are the same, right? Like I'm doing the best that I can, but I'm not gonna sacrifice my principles for anybody else's fucking tribe or politics or team or organization. Like I won't do it. I've never been that way, and it's not gonna happen.
Right now, it feels like that. Like all of the people in the room, I don't know how many people agree with this and stuff or whatnot, but it still feels like we're a minority in the conservatives. Like the majority of them are still like, you know what it is? They're still chasing fame and retweets and like.
Yeah, money. But it's not working, dude.
It's not working.
Their numbers are declining. You know what I mean? Like those people that are going along the lines of clout and shit.
Yeah.
People aren't responding well to it, I don't think. It doesn't look like it to me anyways.
I feel like every time Erika Kirk makes a public appearance, like their numbers just keep dropping. I don't know what they're trying to do with her. If I was her, if I was like, she's the CEO, I get it. I would just like be like, no public appearance.
Even CEOs aren't that public. You know what I mean? They have a spokesman. Literally, Andrew Kovitz, their spokesman. Elon is the CEOs are the ones that line up the big donors and the advertisers, and they make the big deals and shit like that, right? Like it's the way that they've been putting her out there. It's not. It makes it look insincere because it's like the with the tissues. Like when I see people, when I'm looking at my comments, and I'm not like attacking her when I make posts that have her in it. What I see the most in response is people saying, "Oh my God, quit with the fucking tissues!" Right? You were needing to cry when you the moment where you were supposed to be upset has passed, and so now every time that you're making your rounds,
it looks fake.
It doesn't look real. It doesn't seem sincere. So it's not helping. And just go without it. I would just go without it if I were her.
You know what's the most frustrating part is watching people, because let's say before this election, when Joe Biden, when it was Kamala Harris versus Trump, we understood what a liberal was. A liberal was somebody who's like, you're not allowed to criticize this. You're not allowed to say that. Now the conservatives are becoming that. Like, don't criticize Erika Kirk. She's a holy person. She's above us all. Like, when she walks, there should be a red carpet in front of her. Like, they're becoming that. Like, it's becoming, and they're worse than what the liberals were before the elections. This is becoming scary. It's like they call Candace Owens a demon. Like, I'm not even saying Candace Owens is 100% on everything. I'm just saying she has interest.
She's not.
Yeah, nobody is. All I'm saying is she's just questioning a lot of things, and that confuses people. One day she'll question a suspicious plane, and then of course she's gonna get threats against her.
None of them are even asking questions.
Yeah,
Where is their curiosity? Where is their curiosity?
It went out the window.
Please, can I speak now? Because
Mary, okay, go ahead.
Right, thank you. Right, I've got structured points. I've got 13 of them.
No, we don't do 13 points. We do like 4 points.
Right. So basically, I was going to go back to the beginning of the space, saying I agree with you when you're saying the family members showed no real grief. I'm wondering if anyone's looked into Charlie Kirk's mental health history.
I didn't say the family members. I said I haven't seen anybody who was close to him.
Yeah.
It seems since I have not felt like it was sincere.
Sincere grief, yeah.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm also saying that I agree with Redhead when she was. I don't push conspiracy theories on anyone. I never push political views on anyone either. I am a member of like various political parties. I can't just vouch for one. Charlie Kirk definitely got silenced. It's what happens when people know too much. Happened to me in 2023, and I have been targeted by people. So I'm so passionate about this topic because it correlates with what I've been going through.
Okay, can you make it about?
I'll make it about what we're talking about. I'm not making it about me. I'm saying I like theory. I agree that you don't like theory unless there's facts and evidence to base it up. But there's a lot of theories that actually link together for the Charlie Kirk case. But the thing is, I can prove some of these. I've got a first class honours in a social science.
That's not what this space is about.
Wait.
I appreciate that. No.
Okay,
that's not what my space is about right now. I'm not doing the theories.
Yeah. Fair.
Those are other spaces.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I'll stop on that one. With the links to the Air Force.
You can read the title, right? Do you have any thoughts about any of the things that we've just talked about that are up in the jumbotron?
I've been listening to the whole space. I've been listening to where the Air Force has been involved with it's not just the US, I'm saying it's the UK as well. In 2023, I ordered a laptop off Amazon and the Royal Air Force logo was over the webcam camera. In 2023, I was in a facility where I couldn't leave.
Okay, Mary, thank you so much, Mary.
Okay.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. All right, let's go to Arilla. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Hey, Diligent, long time no talk. Hey, Noxie. No, I just want to chime in, just something real quick. So I've never been a real big fan of any of these influences. These are like the 2016 Lord Loomers, Jax, Charlie. I don't know. I've always had a weird feeling. I'm older than probably most of you guys in here. I've never followed them, and I'm a hardcore conservative, MAGA, America First, and all of these people I've always got bad feelings about. They were never around when Trump was at his worst point. They were always like going with the neocons or the DeSantis people, and this just couldn't happen to a bunch of better people. Tim Pool, all these folks. I think people like on X are more genuine and more real than these people, and I just couldn't be more happier that all this is happening. That's all I gotta say about it. So,
I gotta say, there is a few that I'm like, I am kind of like, I knew this was gonna happen.
Yep,
right?
Yep. They've all been like this. I mean, all this stuff is coming to the forefront right now. I mean, if you even go back to like 2007, they're all cutting each other's throat back then, and Laura Loomer's part of that class that came up, and they're all tied together. They all take money from foreign assets. Tim Pool's taking money from Russians not long. I mean, this just
I don't know that was ever verified. I don't want to make cast.
Oh, okay. Well, Benny Johnson, all those people. So I just say get all these ex-hosts. We need a new media to represent.
No fucking no new media. Okay, we just need people who are honest. Citizen journalists, no media. Citizen journalists. That's what we need. Real citizen
journalists. Cover your ears about Candace. She's one of the top ones that shady shit too. It'll all come out, but at the end of the day, I just want the truth. I'm staying out of it.
I'm not a fucking a Candace cult member. I'm not.
Well, I know a lot of people becoming big fans of her, but she's going to disappoint you as well.
Anytime somebody, look, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody.
No.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. No. My point is, though, right, is that anytime somebody is trying to tell the truth or get to the truth and they're being attacked by everyone else, you got a lot of background noise. I'm going to mute you. They're being attacked by everybody else for doing what they're doing. You're going to see me probably stick up for them. I've done it for almost everybody, at least some of the people up on this stage at one point or time. Even people I don't even know that well. It might even be people that I don't even really like that well, just because the dog pile is relentless. And a lot of the times, these people are just trying to get to the truth. You know what I mean? And when I see people being attacked for just trying to get to the truth, there's something there. It seems like there obviously there is an orchestrated effort to silence dissent. And so as citizens, we have a duty to shield each other, right, from that. I'm not saying that we have to, co-sign bullshit or enable people or whatever. I'm just saying, if somebody is genuinely seeking truth and they are getting lambasted by the establishment, and that's what's happening, right? The new media has become the establishment media, and you can see them when they talk, right? When they're telling you, just fucking gobble up this Fed slop and look no further, nothing to see here, there they are. They are there. I don't need to name them. You can just hear what I just said and then assign it to whoever you hear saying it. Go ahead, Mace.
Hi, guys. I just have a question about the Ian Carroll part. What's going on with him and Fuentes? And is Ian turned on Candace too, or no?
What? No one's even talking about Ian Carroll. What?
Oh, I thought, somebody had mentioned him earlier. Maybe I got him confused. Okay. So who were the people that you said were coordinating against Candace that you could tell through the similar rhetoric? I heard Nick Fuentes, and then I didn't hear the other name.
I named Nick Fuentes with them because he is aligning with the people who are attacking Candace. Tim Pool, Steven Crowder, the Quartering, those guys.
And the people who post
Benny Johnson.
You have Dom Lucre, Colin Rugg, obviously that Cam dude. And there's a few others. There's another one, Beheezy tweets. They're all what they do is they don't attack what Candace is saying. What they do is they keep repeating the same thing. This is their strategy.
It's ad hominems.
No, forget the ad hominem. Their new strategy is Candace doesn't bring receipts. Candace doesn't bring receipts. They keep saying that over and over in a way where they're trying to convince their followers that who don't watch Candace Owens at all. They're trying to convince their followers that Candace Owens keeps promising that there's going to be such evidence that there's going to be an arrest made, that the FBI is going to be... That's the way they're hyping it up to their followers. So now their followers are thinking, Candace Owens is promising something so substantial that it's going to lead to an arrest, immediately. That it's going to that it's something so bombshell-like that the FBI is going to have to forced to arrest somebody. That's the way they're making their followers think what's going to happen. But the reality is she's just following the tips that she's getting or the red flags she's throughout this whole process, and she's just trying to cover up. Like that plane story was, I remember when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, that plane story either came about the night he was assassinated or the next day, I don't remember. But it was a very early story, I remember that. I didn't post about it because I wasn't sure if it was, I knew it was something, but I just didn't know what it was. So she's just following all those leads in thorough detail, and she's trying to ask everybody to help her out because the FBI is not doing that, right? Now, if the FBI was doing that, she wouldn't need to publicly do all of this stuff on a podcast. You know what I mean? So that's what these new influencers are doing that I've noticed. And I look from a different point of view than everybody else. I see and I follow them from another account. So I see how they're coordinating. Every time they have a post about Candace Owens, they're all underneath the replies, what happened to Candace? She was never like this before. And these are other influencers like Gunter Eagleman, and I've seen him. He's like, what happened to her? He posted that and called. I don't want to engage in a public dispute with any of these people. I just
talking about the tactics.
Yeah, it pisses me off because it's so disingenuous. Because this is exactly what we were fighting the left over at this time last year, and now they're resorting to those types of things just because we're questioning the mega church, Turning Point USA. That's the new mega church. So I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
Go ahead, Mace. Is she talking?
Yes.
Can
I
anybody
can't hear her. I can't hear Maze. I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead, Casey.
I think Speaks was here before me. I know you don't like.
Well, I know that you were. You heard Nick's name. You heard Nick's name mentioned, and so I know that you were triggered, and you immediately needed to come up and say something. So that's why.
Well, just oh, she's back. All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to agree with Shadow. I think that there's definitely, it's this desperate attempt to delegitimize her. The thing is that I would even be very cautious if I was her about these tips that are coming in, because I think that there might be some moles in her camp.
Of course.
And they might be making big promises that she's actually leaning on and not showing. And because doesn't it make sense? It's like almost the perfect, like the opposition is attacking her in that vector, and there could be someone in her camp setting her up for failure. And I hope that she's more discerning.
I mean, she doesn't have a camp though. There's only like 4 people that she rolls with. The rest of it's just a community of tipsters, and then I'm sure she has a thorough vetting process for each tip that comes in, so it doesn't matter, if it's with malicious intent or not. The filter should catch it, right?
Well, there's the official. Because she gets a lot of these official. I don't know. The
whistleblowers.
Whistleblowers and the people that are connected to, let's say, the whole French or France, whatever, the shenanigans. I think that some of that potentially could be aimed at trying to get her delegitimized, like making her look crazy or psycho or something, when in fact she's probably getting these tips, and then they're they're convincing enough for her, but then whenever she makes that promise, and let's just say that person doesn't come through with whatever. I think the big thing was the whole Donald Trump is going to come out with a letter proving that I'm right. I don't know why she would ever say something like that. I guess that was something.
I don't know what that is.
Did you hear about that or no?
No.
Yeah, it's a letter about the Canada, sorry to interrupt, the Canadian threat against her life, saying that the Canada.
Yeah, if it's I'm looking for stuff on Charlie Kirk, so if it's not that, then the only reason why I knew about
Not Canadian, I'm so sorry. No, French, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to correct that. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, you had me confused. It was like Canadian? That's weird. Go ahead, Casey.
Yeah, obviously I'm with Maze, and I understand that you said there's only like 4 people in her team, but I'm just saying that you've got to be careful with the characteristics of these people that might be in your team, and they might be beautiful characteristics, and I'm sorry, but I'm just going to put it that way. But anyway, the other point that I wanted to make was I do separate Nick from the gang of people because he was coming for her back in the summertime, because I kind of was not in on it. But this is a feud that's been going on for a while. I do hate when he sides with Tim, though, because I'm like, Tim brings down your value, because Tim, you don't need to say W Tim, because it's like, bro, it makes you look bad, because believe me, Tim Pool is not the one to be like, yeah, I'm going to have your back with this one. It's like, this guy is it's spineless, and I'm sorry, but there's just no other word for him. And look, since we're talking about too the people who are coming for her, the Shadow Geyser is right. The people on Twitter, you can see the patterns of how they're talking about no receipts. You can even see with some of them the kind of pictures they choose to put. There was one particular account that put a picture of Candace where her hair wasn't looking the greatest. I know that picture, and I was like, you did that on purpose. It's just to make her look really insane. And here's the other thing. The other reason why I don't like it is
to discredit her and slander her.
And they want to make her look, and so this is why I have to be I have to have her like almost come in defense because I don't want this precedent set where if somebody is saying something that you don't like, but they're still safe, their children are very, they're well taken care of, they're not doing weird things out in the streets, you know what I'm saying? They're, you know what I mean? But they just have thoughts that you don't agree with. We cannot start labeling people, as schizophrenic. She does have a story from, and I'm just going to say, when she had one of her kids and she didn't want to vaccinate the kid, and then they sent the social workers and stuff to her house. This type of stuff happens. Next thing you know, somebody, we need to go 302 can't. Please, no, I'm not with that because then that's, all of us are at risk for that. So this is why I have to go in defense mode with, when it comes to her on that.
Okay, so what I heard is that you are criticizing Nick Fuentes and you support, you have to come to her defense. Candace Owens' defense. Noted. Thank you, Casey. Thank you.
Nick is still my favorite out of all of this, and I don't care.
I'm just joking.
No. I'm
trolling.
I like how you said it. No, I like how you said it. No, but I like that point that somebody can be my favorite, but I don't have to agree with them the whole time.
Absolutely. We don't have blind loyalty. We should not have, and none of us should have blind loyalty to anyone. Unless they're like you're married or your family, of course, right? Or God or Jesus or whatever you believe in. But you should not have blind loyalty to any of us. Any of these talking heads on social media or on YouTube or anywhere. It's just we're beyond the point where we can trust people on their credentials or on their or you know what I mean, from their past, but their past achievements even, right? Like some of these people have done some incredible work before, and to see them like shift, it's like, wow, things can change and not in a good way. 100%. Go ahead, Amira, and then we'll go to tweet.
Well, I was just going to say they'd make a big mistake going after her kids like that with all of us backing her. I mean, the whole country, it seems like she's got a huge amount of support. And also, I think they didn't realize how smart she is. She's been outsmarting them along the way. They didn't plan this very good. And I kind of wonder sometimes if they regret the one they chose and they wish they would have done her instead. It's too late now.
That's awful to think about.
It is. It really is.
Yeah,
really
but she's, she didn't have Turning Point, right? Like Turning Point is this monstrosity political machine.
Turning Point is going to drown.
Create
Turning
voters.
Point is going down.
I create voters. Well, they're doing it to themselves, right? They are.
And good riddance too. I'm fine.
Yeah, they've dropped. Charlie Kirk show was 9th and 10th in when he died after the assassination on Apple Podcasts. It's down to like 140 now, and it keeps going down. Same thing with the viewership on YouTube. When I looked at it last week, I went back through the numbers. Those numbers are plummeting this month, right? So there's a lot of vitriol, and I don't want to keep talking about Candace the whole space, but there's a lot of vitriol and blame happening towards Candace, but it's not her fault. It is their own fault. It is their own insincerity that shows through when they're speaking to you on his platform, right? It's the fact that they still are doing Weekend at Bernie's with the Charlie Kirk show, right? And acting as if, he's actually still here with us, and he feels all of these different kind of ways. Every time we have a question about a policy or a political position, they invoke Charlie's name and tell you how he felt about it, right? And that is fucking Weekend at Bernie's, because Charlie Kirk is dead. As sad as that is, right? He is dead. And what they're doing is incredibly morbid, if you ask me, right? The book tours and it's just nonstop. It is they did that, the fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago last night, and I was looking at the pictures and the empty seats, and it was just, it's incredibly morbid, dude. It's gross. It's gross.
I hate
It was a fundraiser for TPUSA. I'm sorry, Mayor. I just didn't know. I just thought people were just at Mar-a-Lago. This was for TPUSA last night?
Yeah, and it was like $3,000 and $9,000 a plate or something crazy, and they raised. I read a report, and I might be wrong, so
I saw
don't take.
Erica was there.
I saw
was
it.
there.
It had a different.
I might be wrong about the amount
Yeah.
of money, but they raised. What I read was they raised like 15 mil there last night.
Yeah, they had different tiers. Like I think there was a 3,000, then a 5,000, 10,000. It went all the way up to I think maybe 50,000 or something. And they had like a museum.
And they already made 80 million in the week. You know, like the 2 weeks after he died.
Yeah.
And then the shirts. And then
The shirts that were printed without so fast.
And to hear people like trouncing on other people for grifting off them, and while the worst grift is happening right there in the heart of it all, and it is done in a shameless way, right? Like it is. There's no respect for the dead. You know what I mean? Like it is incredibly commercialized. And just, I don't know, dude. It just looks gross. It's a bad look. That book is a bad look. Okay, that tour, the making the rounds on Fox News and Charlie Kirk show. It's not a good look. Good, but by all means, continue. Sorry, Chad.
Well, the other thing that I would like to say.
Hold on, Chad was trying to respond.
No, I just wanted to say they also just quickly they also had his microphone on a display. If you guys noticed that in a glass box, that's the microphone that I used to speak on. So that's like an artifact now. They had I think his freedom shirt and his hat, all from the stuff that he had worn the day he was shot. I think all of that was like shrined, looking like an artifact basically from a museum. Because I saw it I follow him on Instagram, the chief of staff, Mike McCoy, I think his name is that his name? Mike McCoy? I saw him post it.
Yeah, the amazing Mikey McCoy, yes.
Yeah. The guy who saw blood on his hand or something, right? That was him? Am I right?
I believe it was Mikey McCoy. It was Frank Turek now.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
So he
his
posted
dad that
all of
said that he was covered in blood.
Yeah, he posted the microphone, and when I read the caption, it was like Dill just said, everything is in the name of Charlie Kirk. I remember Charlie Kirk told me this. I remember Charlie Kirk said that. So they can
let him rest.
Yes, they can get anything they want from their followers. All they have to do is because Charlie Kirk said this, Charlie Kirk said that. Or I remember Charlie Kirk told me the Earth was flat. So they can do anything they want. All they gotta do is say Charlie Kirk told me so, and they can sell you whatever they want.
That's exactly what's happening.
The other thing I want to say about Candace is when she says that she had a dream, I believe her.
I don't want to spend the whole space talking about Candace.
Okay, well, the Bible talks about dreams all the time. People are given dreams all the time. And the dream was, and she didn't completely tell us everything, but the dream was that he told her he was betrayed. We can clearly see that he was betrayed by everyone. And,
well, even what's happening right now, maybe, like, if not in the murder set.
Yeah, I agree with you, Stacy. I think TPUSA is, and I agree with them that they're freaking capitalizing on his name as much as they can. They're making as much money off of his name as they can, and everybody's gonna end up hating them for it. It's gonna kill the whole organization, but not before they extract probably a couple $100 million. I'll be curious to see how much money they've made off of this when they have to file their what is it? Not 1099s, but because they're a 501c3. What's it called? I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about, but the government tax forms. I can't even imagine the kind of money that they're pulling in right now, and have pulled in since he died. It's wild to think that on every murder show I've ever watched, they either look first at the lover or the one that benefits most from his death, or a combination thereof, and they're acting like it's weird that the entire public is looking at the lover or the people that benefit most. Like, I mean, come on, bro. We have a brain.
Or a conspiracy sense, to be acting like he was this devout Judaism practitioner You know what I mean? And selling books on it and fucking telling everybody that he was, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it is gross. That feels to me like a blasphemy, right? When you are looking at, so you're talking about a dead person, and you're saying, well, they believed this and they did this, and you're talking about a faith. I'm not even talking about religion. A faith-based action or position or notion, and it's clearly not true. That is that's a blasphemy, man. That is gross. It's the worst kind of deception. You know what I mean? Like, that is the worst kind of deception, and it's happening from the people who are closest to him. It's like, wow, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Go ahead, speak.
You know, I have a cousin who was, the biggest Trump supporter there is, went to Mar-a-Lago, went to the Liberty Ball, did all the things, all the money and the paraphernalia, and just crazy, right? Just absolutely crazy. And there was Vietnamese people there that were highly involved with Trump because, the Vietnamese are anti-communist. And so he would always, bring out the Vietnamese. And these Vietnamese people followed him everywhere and loved him. And so they would always invite her. She texted him the other day saying, about how she feels, and ever since Charlie, that she woke up, and now everything that she hears come out of Trump's mouth, she believes is a lie, and they're lying, and that she wanted to know if this guy is feeling, if she's feeling what she's feeling is correct, or does he still have hope, or does he feel the same way? He said after Charlie died, he left the country. He's in Spain. He said everything is, they basically used and abused him, dropped him off like on a bus stop. And so after the Charlie thing, after all that support and everything they did, he left the country. He cannot believe. I think the guy's heartbroken. But the reason why I'm saying that is because even the hardened supporters, the boomers, they are seeing it too, and they are waking up too, and there is a lot of that going on, and I'm happy to see it.
Thank you. Go ahead, speak.
Yeah, I want to sign Kleenex. I would like the Kleenex to be signed. That's all I have to say on that. I think that's a really terrible thing. I agree with you. I do want to talk about the Sabbath, and I want to talk about the corruption that we're seeing at TPUSA, and I know you're not going to like this, Diligent, but right now, as we speak, there's 1,000 preachers in Israel. Why? Why are they trying to conflate the religion into making
are they somehow adjacent? Are they associated with TPUSA?
Some for sure, some for 100%, some for sure, a good amount.
Well, a pilgrimage to Israel is pretty common for a long time, right? Like that's.
Yeah, but they're trying it. But why now? Right? Why now?
Well, what do you mean? I've followed Kevin Sorbo since he got on the platform, and he does an annual trip to Israel. Like, I didn't think about any of it till now, but like I didn't. So, anyways, can we bring it back to the topic?
Yeah, well, it is kind of on the topic. I want to talk about the Erika Kirk Sabbath book. That's what I want to talk about. I think that the book is a complete, almost change of the religion. I don't know. I think that it is. I think that having this conversation, your grok, talking about, hey, how many times did Charlie Kirk actually mention the Sabbath, and coming back with
no, the Shabbat, not Sabbath, the Shabbat.
Oh, Shabbat. I'm sorry. The Shabbat. I'm so sorry. I conflated the words. The Shabbat. So talking about the Shabbat and discussing the fact that they are trying to almost change a religion or change what he actually believed in. Did he practice
Weekend
it?
At Bernie's.
Right. Did he practice it? Maybe. But I mean, why the push? And what I did want to say...
There's no evidence that he did practice it, because that very same post shows that he is actively replying during the Sabbath and Shabbat hours, like 100 times in the last 3 years. It wasn't, and not scheduled posts, replies. You know what I mean? Replies. And as a matter of fact, I got to thinking about it. I believe the last time he replied to me was on a Saturday during those hours when I was pissed off about Epstein, the day that he got the Trump phone call. And I called him a sellout. I was like, you fucking sold out. You got a call, you sold out, and now you're saying you're not going to talk about it anymore. Congratulations, or something like that. I was like, I think I said something like, I hope your followers treat you accordingly. And, I ratioed him. And I know that's an ugly interaction to have it be your last interaction, but it was like the truth of the moment. But that was on a weekend, you know what I mean? And he responded to me thoughtfully, like that was him. So like, when was he practicing the Sabbath? When? Sometimes, occasionally. How often? Because no, mute yourself, please don't talk over me. Yep. So, when was he practicing the Sabbath? It wasn't. The evidence. All signs point to he wasn't. You know what I mean? It makes the book, not only are they including Judaism by invoking Shabbat Shalom, but it doesn't even look like he was a devout follower of the Sabbath itself. It just seems farcical. If I had to guess, the book itself is a pander to Israel and the evangelicals that he wasn't really into, right? That's what the evidence looks like. Is that his heart was not in that. It looks like a pander. And in the wake of his death, they went and shilled it anyways, thinking that people, because it's Charlie Kirk I bet you when they thought this out, they're like, people aren't going to question, people aren't going to look too far, people aren't going to ask, people aren't going to criticize, but they have done a horrible job of PR and they're not trusted. So, instantly I'm going to look, I'm going to be all over it. And sure enough, there's no evidence to support that the things that were being told after he's dead is true. Go ahead, speak, and then we'll go to AB.
Yeah, just what it makes it to me look like, and what this is increasingly looking like, is an influence and a kind of government influential program. I don't know what to call it. I don't know whether to call it CIA. I don't know what to call it, right? I don't know whether to call it foreign influence. I don't know, but all I know is that there's clearly some kind of protocol, some kind of guideline, some kind of playbook that they're going off of, and it doesn't seem genuine. And what kills is, love him or hate him, agree with him or disagree with him, I'm gonna say this: I can tell that Charlie Kirk actually meant what he said. He actually meant it, right? I think he was very genuine, regardless of whether you agreed with it or not. I think he believed what he said. I think he was starting to see things differently. I think that's evidenced by the text messages that we saw, right? The Erika Kirk release. But I think why at that point when you're seeing, and she lives with him, right? She lives at home with him. My husband knows what I'm thinking all the time on a conversation. I don't know if any of you guys are married up here or not. If you're married and you're as close to your spouse as she claims that she is, she knows if he was hot or cold on a story or a conversation. But it just seems like she went right into the hornet's nest and didn't care. And that, I think you said it, Diligent, it's such a disservice to his memory, and that kills. And it just further, I think,
it's a disservice to us too, because they're manipulating us, or people anyway, 100%. If it's true.
100%. And it makes you wonder if is this working or is it not? I think you said it best, that their viewership is dropping, and I think that getting also back to that conversation about the influencers and stuff like that. Listen, guys, this is not going to go the way that you think it is, and anybody that's believing it, the trust the plan people, get ready, because you're going to get plowed right over. Because at this point, we've all come to take hold of our discernment. I think so. We've all come to the realization that we have a free ability to think and see, and we're not seeing what these people are trying to show. That's what I'll say. Thank you.
Go ahead, AB. Thank you, Didi.
Yeah, it's honestly, my general opinion, it's honestly amazing being in this, what I consider to be a complete alternate reality. I have no opinions on whether it's okay or not okay, or good or bad, or advisable or inadvisable. I have zero opinion for a self-professed Christian to practice or intend to practice the Sabbath. What I do know, so I have no opinion on that. People from different denominations.
What about a dead one, though? You have an opinion about somebody?
I have an opinion. My opinion is my opinion, so if you would allow me to state it. What I do have an opinion on is that it's a lie to state that it's their book. It's Charlie's book that's released posthumously. That happens all the time with music, with books. All the time people die either from natural causes, old age, or in his case, tragically, by murder and assassination. Charlie mentioned, I grokked this before I came on, Charlie mentioned this book that he himself had worked on, that he had finished, most recently on August 29th, less than 2 weeks before his murder, August 29th, 2025, at the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit in Chicago. Prior to that, he mentioned it again. He, his own mouth, his own words, mentioned this book. And he also mentioned how he was inspired by Dennis Prager, who's the head of Prager University, to write it. He also mentioned it prior to that. So August 29th, obviously he was murdered on the 10th. August 29th, he mentioned it. August 20th in Madison, Wisconsin, he mentioned it. July 15th on the Charlie Kirk Show, episode 1247. Kirk devoted the episode's second half, the entire second half of his show, to the book, interviewing his wife, Erika, about their joint Shabbat routine and reading from the introduction, and he read from the introduction in the book. I intend to persuade you, this is a quote from the book, in this book I intend to persuade you that the Sabbath is essential to the flourishing of the human soul, end quote. He encouraged listeners to adopt the practice immediately and announced the September release date. So not only did he talk about it very close to his death, but he talked about the release date. It's his book. So any intimation otherwise is either ignorance, okay, it could be honest ignorance, or someone is lying, okay? It's his book, and his wife is honoring his wishes by releasing it. Whether it's good to practice it, whether he practiced exactly what he preached in terms of honoring it, maybe, listen, he's a Christian. He doesn't have the same restrictions on the Shabbat that Jews do in terms of like not using electricity or whatever it is. Orthodox Jews not using electricity or whatever, right? So maybe he did it the way he felt it, or maybe he's like a lot of people who have certain strong beliefs, but they don't always practice them as well as they would like, right? Whatever the belief is, whether it's Islam, Judaism, Christianity, Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, whatever, right? They think like this is my ideal, right? But I don't always do it, right? Even for myself, I come from an Orthodox Jewish background. And I don't go on Spaces on Shabbat, and I try not to tweet at all or use my phone or anything like that on Shabbat. But sometimes when I'm really, like fired up about something,
there's varying degrees of devotion.
Yeah, there's varying degrees of observance. Does that mean I don't care about it, or I think it's this, or I think it's actually not important? No, it means I'm weak. Like most human beings are. I'm weak, and I don't always practice exactly what I believe in.
But I'm not.
But just on the land my plane.
Hold on, I'm gonna interject real quick.
Okay. Well, one more sentence before.
Move on past from it.
I'm not moving. I'm still on it. Just to land my plane. To land my plane on this. All I'm saying is that it's a factual matter that Kirk discussed this book in his own words, not 2 years ago, not 6 months ago, not like less than 2 weeks, August 29th, most recently, and that he interviewed his own wife and discussed the release date, which is what the release date actually was. That's it. That's a factual statement. You can all verify that.
It's just the marketing post demise, right? It's the facade that's being sold in his wake, and it's not just the book. It's the book plus the show, plus, and right, Mar-a-Lago, and the churches, and the attacks on Candace Owen from the pulpit, TPUSA in the background, right? There is a lot of shit going on in his wake that is gross to me, and this is one of them. The book 3 months after he's gone, it just comes off as insincere. And then when you see, you say what you want about Grok, but I use Grok to look into, and there's no evidence to support that he observed it at all, really, right? And then you have her on Fox and Friends.
Well, except that he said.
Hold on.
Except that he said that he did.
Hold on.
He said that he did. That is evidence.
You have her crying on Fox and Friends, declaring that every Friday he got home and threw his phone into a drawer and said, Shabbat Shalom. and that's it. Didn't touch it. Spent his time with his wife and kids, and that's not what the evidence says. And she's doing this on a book promotion. It's not like she's having a heart-to-heart with Diane Summers or Tom Brokaw or Joe Rogan, right? She is on a book tour. She is promoting that book, and she is selling something that is verifiably false, right? Like it's gross, dude. Like I don't know. It's extremely macabre at the very least.
There's two camps on it, and they're both very strongly entrenched, and I'm on the other camp. There's both sides of this fight about his legacy, or how it should be, his memory, his legacy, etc. Say that the other side is being revolting and macabre. It's just a question of, do you think it's Team Candace, for lack of a better word? That's the side that I'm firmly on, or is it Team?
My position has nothing to do with Candace.
Or is it Team? Okay, but I'm saying she's the most prominent person leading that argument. Okay, that they're evil.
I've never even said that. I've never heard her say that.
I'm saying she's the most prominent person. Let me repeat again. She's the most prominent person. You're not as prominent as her, even though she's featured your tweets on her show.
I'm saying I've never heard her say what I'm saying. Give me one example of her saying that it's Weekend at Bernie's or what they're doing.
I've seen her say
morbid.
I've seen her say very similar things. I don't know about the Shabbat thing per se, but basically that he was betrayed by everyone in his organization. That implies his wife too, by the way. That they also implying that they were on his murder.
I see the book thing as a betrayal. I do. I see it as betrayal.
I just proved to you that he promoted this book less than 10 days before he died, and the release date was set before he died. And if you want to prove to yourself as well that it is a common occurrence to release either art or books posthumously after someone's dead. Shit, Tupac's hip hop is still being released as of a couple years ago, and he died. He was murdered. Who knows? Like whatever, 2 decades ago. So it's not an uncommon occurrence. And again, you can choose your own adventure. You could decide to pick the Candace Owens, who's doing what she's doing, or his wife, in terms of
that's a straw man. That is
not a straw man.
Yeah,
that is
because
no. And you are very firmly on the other side.
Hold on. I offered you my position and my takes on the entire thing, and I didn't reference Candace Owens once. The only one out of the two of us that has brought her up in the conversation is you. It is a straw man. You're setting something up there that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, so that way people can focus on that, and you can focus on that, other than what I am specifically addressing. I'm specifically addressing the timing and the way that they are marketing this book.
The timing was set up by Charlie.
That is not true.
The timing was set up by Charlie. Now what?
Okay, why is he why are they marketing as if he is a devout follower?
Why wouldn't they want to market the book that he wrote and he set a release date for before he died? Why wouldn't they do that?
Why are they?
Why would we trust Candace? Why would we trust you or Candace?
A Jewish religious observation.
He said he wrote an entire book on it. According to him, he said he wrote a book on it. He read the introduction.
Hold on. He wrote the book.
I just proved you wrong about this subject completely.
I'm asking you questions. Okay, why are you triggered? Did he write that book alone?
I don't know of any evidence that he didn't. He said he wrote the book. It's under his name. He may have had a ghostwriter, that's common. I don't know. The answer is I don't know, but there's no evidence.
So the answer is yes. The same ghostwriter that wrote for Charlie Kirk also wrote for Data Republican. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. But do you have evidence that?
You know how much involvement Charlie had in the writing process?
Even if a book was written or co-written by a ghostwriter, which again I don't have any evidence for in this book, but even if that's true, again that's very common. And
I didn't make any claims. I'm asking questions. Do you know how much?
I did make claims, and I have evidence. I have receipts for my claims.
I'm the one that claimed that Data Republican shares the same ghostwriter as Charlie Kirk did on this last.
What did that have to do with the price of tea in China? How is that relevant to our conversation?
Well, because I'm talking about the authenticity of what's happening in his wake. Right? The Weekend at Bernie's shit. The book is just one example. I'm talking about the Charlie Kirk show. I'm talking about
if you're a politician or if you're a politician,
I'm talking about the constant.
If you're a politician or an influencer,
okay, hold on, Charlie. I know you're struggling. I'm talking about the constant evocation of his name during conversations about policy, as if he's in the other room and they had just spoken to him and they knew exactly what he would say in every instance. The Weekend at Bernie's shit, bro. It's fucking gross. It's morbid. The book is just one last example of it. A very prominent one, because it has to do with Israel and the Jewish donors and shit. And his last documented position was irritation and leaving that position. His last documented one. And then 2 days later, he's dead. Right? And then in his wake, they're acting like that never fucking happened. That's what that's the problem. Right? It's gross, dude. It's gross.
No, I mean,
it's disingenuous at the very least.
I think what you're doing is gross and disingenuous at the very least, but you know.
How? Tell me what I'm doing that's disingenuous.
Because if anyone is entitled, and again, this is not uncommon either. It's very common for, we all agree, right, on the stage, whether you are on, your side or my side of this discussion, we all agree that Charlie Kirk's assassination was the most high profile in America in decades. He was a
100%.
He was a public figure. His organization was extremely important to him in everything that he did, right? So it's not uncommon. We have people quoting, the Kennedys after they got all, the JFK. To this day, on debate stages between politicians, we have people quoting Martin Luther King and invoking his legacy, both conservatives and liberals. It happens all the time. Why wouldn't it happen to another high-profile political figure like Charlie Kirk? Of course it would. And let me land my plane.
Let me answer your question.
And if anyone is entitled, I think someone is entitled. If anyone is entitled to invoke his legacy and what he believed, okay, even though we don't know definitively because he can't answer, but if anyone is entitled, it is his wife and the mother of his children, not you and not me.
Definitely, I agree with you on that single point. Out of all the things you said, I 100% agree with you on that single point. But it's not just Erika Kirk that's launching that book; it's also TPUSA, right? And another thing is that, well, you didn't answer my question. Actually, I want to go back. What's the thing that you said that the position I'm taking or what I'm saying is incredibly gross and disingenuous? What exactly did I say, right, that is disingenuous? You never answered my question.
It's disingenuous to claim that they're disingenuous and that they're perverting his legacy and using him as...
I'm giving you my opinion.
I know. I strongly disagree with your opinion.
My opinion's disingenuous? Is that what you're saying?
It sounds disingenuous to me. And it sounds like, and it certainly sounds...
You think that I am falsely asserting my position?
I think you falsely, again, maybe not intentionally, but unintentionally, nonetheless, it was still false, that he had nothing to do, that they are publishing this book. It's like, no, he set up the date, and the book was already written. Period, end of story. That's not a matter of...
You don't know anything of the process about how, who, what, when, where, why, how it was written, how the publishing plan. You have no idea, right?
We know that he approved it, that he promoted it, that he read the introduction to it, and that he set the release date.
Right.
And we know that,
right.
And we know that from his own words. I don't care if he had a ghostwriter or not. If a tweet goes on under your name or my name,
it seems like Erika Kirk going on Fox News and saying Shabbat Shalom as a Christian.
She feels like she's honoring.
Hold on.
She feels like she's honoring his legacy.
Maybe so. Okay, I'm completely.
She feels that way.
Well, you don't know how she feels, and neither do I. All right, so
she's expressing that she feels that way. All right, okay. So I believe her over you.
Okay. Well,
about Charlie Kirk's opinion.
I didn't say that she didn't, did I? Okay. What she's also selling it. She's telling a story about Charlie Kirk, and she's selling it. She's not doing a sit-down interview. She is doing a book tour, and so she is. He is a Christian, the foremost Christian voice on the right. And she is in his wake on Fox and Friends, the biggest platform probably on the right as far as boomers go, right? Invoking that he is celebrating a Jewish or a Judaist Christian or Judaist practice as he's selling this book under that premise, which is not true. It's just not true. Right? That's my point.
You don't know that it's true, and he may have had it.
Because his last documented position was that his Jewish donors fit into all of the stereotypes and he was leaving the pro-Israel cause, and then he was murdered 2 days later. That is why it's disgusting, because it's not true. There's no evidence on the timeline. You can go back through his videos, you can look through his posts, his replies, and he never said that, right? He never said that.
Number one, you're conflating him being mad about a pro-Israel donor withdrawing money to his religious practice. Not the same
He
thing.
said Jewish, not me.
Right, but you're relating to his religious practice. That's not nothing. You know, those are not two same things. Number two, on the very next day, on September 9th, Josh Hammer has released screenshots.
It is whitewashing, bro. It's fucking whitewashing him
It's
after he's dead.
a book that he wrote with a ghostwriter or without, and released and set up a release date for.
It's not just the book, though. It's not just the book.
Hold
on.
He literally had a meeting.
They also didn't disclose the thing about the donors. They did not disclose the text messages with the donors until Candace forced their hand. So say what you want about Candace, say what you want about TPUSA or the people around him, but they did not disclose that very relevant information in the wake of an assassination of political scale, right? A state level assassination of political scale has nationwide implications, especially on the election cycle in the United States, and did not disclose a possible motive to the public until she forced their hand to. This is the kind of transparency and this is the kind of morality that we have seen from these people in the wake of Charlie Kirk. So with that in mind, right, this type of maneuvering and messaging and propagandizing has been occurring at every fucking turn, right? And I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not, because it is, uncouth or politically correct not to do so. I have no dog in that ideological fight. But the fact of the matter is that there is a weekend at Bernie's going on. His positions are being cast after he's dead, and it's not fucking good, bro. It's not cool.
Number one, they say, and we have no evidence to the contrary, that they did disclose the entire, all of his communications and gave up his phones to the federal authorities, which is the standard normal thing to do in an investigation, not to disclose it to the public. But number two, once Candace did, uncouthly, in my opinion.
The same federal authorities that said that they had the suspect in custody the same day and then didn't? Is it the same ones?
Yeah, the people in charge of the investigation of all murders in the United States, in Canada, and every other country in the world. The actual authorities, right? That's the people who you're supposed to release it to. Number two, once Candace did, disgustingly, in my opinion, you think totally correctly, reveal a snippet from his group chat, they came out within a day or two and said, yeah, that's right. They didn't deny it, right?
Why is it disgusting to you? Why would truth be disgusting to you? Truth is God's light. Did you know that? Have you read on this? I think you should definitely look into it. Truth is God's light.
Releasing a snippet of a private group chat that you weren't part of afterwards in order to castigate the organization that he founded, led, and loved.
Please accept the co-host. I need the room.
Is disgusting.
It's coming from a guy who released pictures of a naked child.
Hold on. We're not going to get into the personal ad hominem attacks. Okay, go ahead, AB. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's obviously it's a subjective matter, but releasing that kind of thing is disgusting from like somebody right after they've murdered. Again, yeah, I think it is uncouth. There is actual thing called class, and that's not classy, right?
But selling a bunch of shit in his name and giving false, under a false premise is perfectly fine in your book. That's not uncouth. But releasing accurate information that's relevant to a murder is. Can you make that make sense?
He can't. He's not on stealth. He's not on a stealth space.
No, don't do that. It's a mute glitch, AB. I'm not muting you. You can respond.
Billy, can I just say one line? Just one.
If you can quickly before he gets back in there.
Yeah, so he's saying that we shouldn't. Okay, but you're saying that we should trust that this was Charlie's will and this was Charlie's will and blah, 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 that he wanted to release this book and you had all this evidence and you had the timestamps, but literally also Charlie's will was to leave the Israel cause, and that one, we're going to be selective about. Just calling out your hypocrisy.
Yeah, there's no hypocrisy. And TPUSA, in my opinion, did this. I'll put it this way: they did the normie thing. You could argue whether it's subjective, whether it's the right thing to do or wrong to do. Candace thinks the right thing to do is to launch her own private investigation, accusing everyone involved in TPUSA, including his wife, by implicitly of being involved in his murder.
She never accused his wife of any wrongdoing.
Yeah, I said implicitly. Look up the word implicitly, and you'll know what I mean. Everyone knows what implications are.
Yeah, it's subjective, so it's bullshit. It's
bullshit. Okay, no, subjective is subjective. What we're both saying is subjective. So she thinks subjectively that that's the right thing to do, and to sell Candace intelligence agency gear, that's totally okay. You have no problem with any of that shit. TPUSA think it's the right thing to do to hand over their phones to the people actually in charge of the murder investigation. You can let the public decide what's more normal,
except
and what's
for
more
she
demonic.
is using her platform to investigate the murder further, and they're telling you not to. It's they already know. They're actually lying. People who sit there in his showroom are actively lying on the platform about who killed Charlie Kirk using Tyler's brother's Facebook photos, right? That's the difference between Candace, operating her show, and what's going on over there at the Charlie Kirk show. And do you need to give me an example, or do you know what I'm talking about? Do I need to give you an example?
The Facebook thing? What are you talking about?
Jack Boso posting pictures of Tyler's brother shooting a bunch of guns and telling everybody that it's Tyler. He was doing it for like multiple times a day, every day with his platform, and he's on Charlie Kirk show all the time talking about who killed Charlie Kirk
I don't
without
care.
any evidence. Even fabricating evidence. Why aren't you? Hold on.
Yeah.
Why aren't you applying the same standards to TPUSA and its showmates that you are Candace? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why aren't you applying the same scrutiny and criticisms? If they're out here lying about the case, why aren't you interested?
Oh, the space crashed. 158.10. 158.10. 158.10. Oops. 158.10.
Back up. Sorry.
Arrest, like, immediately. That is.
Well, I know a lot of people becoming big fans of her, but
Listen,
she's going to disappoint you as well.
Anytime somebody, look, I don't trust anybody. Tyler's brother.
What thing? What are you talking?
He's on.
Oh, it's going to be glitchy. All right, guys. If y'all want to go listen to the rest of it, you'll go to the timestamp, 1 minute and 58 seconds. That's where we were at, under Denizon's profile. Sometimes the spaces get glitchy like this, and it'll cut out every like 10 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever. I'm not going to deal with that, so you can go listen to the rest of it yourself. It's a good advertisement for Denizon anyway, and he deserves you to go follow him and check it out on his profile. All right, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good